TakingPoint Leadership is a progressive, data-driven consulting firm. We focus on leadership development, organizational design and development assessments. We offer keynote speaking, workshop series, all designed to enhance the culture, strategy, structure, and leadership components in an organization, but all designed to achieve very specific results. If we're not tying it all back to P&L and profitability and growth in an organization, then the efforts are futile. So our goal is to use our specific approach, our operational frameworks and models to bring it all together so that our clients understand what their return on investment is.
We actually were driving up to LA one day and we're brainstorming different names that we could, we had the Forbes column and we were kind of brainstorming what are we going to name our consulting agency, what makes sense. We had GoDaddy out, we were typing in different domains, and we wanted it to have kind of a military twist because Brent's background as a Navy SEAL, we wanted a military twist. And then Brent came up, he said, what about Taking Point? And you can...
Sure, so when a special operations unit is in the field, enemy territory, what have you, the person in front is the point man. So essentially they're leading their team into very volatile and uncertain environments. And much like the world of modern business, the leadership and management needs of organizations has evolved and is continuing to evolve. So we're trying to draw from many of those principles that forge high-performance elite teams in the special operations community, from behavioral norms, leadership ability, the cultural pillars that are critical for high performance in any type of volatile, fast-paced environment, and embed those mechanisms not into our company, but also into our clients' organization. So we came up with Taking Point. It's also the name of the best-selling book that came out last year. So it's all part of our brand. There's several things that I think set us apart from other consulting firms. One is the background of many of the people on the team, many of whom we've all worked together significantly, Navy SEALs, special operators with significant combat experience, but also from a consultative standpoint, we don't just bring the military background, we bring very sophisticated educational backgrounds and backgrounds in actually having built and sold multiple organizations. So we can not just speak, but also teach authentically these principles because we've actually enacted them in our own organizations. And we do, like I said before, take a very data-driven approach. So we're extracting the right ground intelligence, so to speak, and applying that to our operational models and the recommendations we put forth for our clients so that we kind of essentially go into an engagement with an organization already knowing what winning looks like. And then, of course, we can course correct as needed, but our differentiating factor and value proposition is we gather a lot of intelligence, just like you do in the military, to put forth a proper mission plan. We course correct as needed, and then we always debrief as we go and after a project is over to extract lessons learned, go over those with the client, and also our own lessons learned on how we can perform better.
Yeah, and I also think to your point of going back to our backgrounds, Brent has a military background, entrepreneur, built and sold a couple companies, but on the flip side, my background, I worked in corporate America for almost a decade, working for giant corporations, so I have kind of the corporate background, and the two of us can kind of talk and work out specific data-driven plans that really kind of merge our past careers.
That's what I like about your background is you've also seen what works, what doesn't in corporate America. In these large organizations like Miller Coors, you would think they have it dialed in and it's perfect and they have the perfect operational model, and they need sometimes more help than smaller to medium-sized organizations as far as streamlining things, creating greater efficiencies, improving culture, employee engagement, and that's what we're here to do.
We're very collaborative with our teams. We believe in constant communication. We always want to check in with our employees, get other people's input. We're very inclusive. I don't think when we have our meetings, we want feedback from everyone. I'm very kind of overarching visionary, and then Brent's always, my official title is CVO, Chief Visionary Officer. And so again, I'm kind of like big strategic thinking, and then I'm lucky enough to have this guy that's
the workhorse.
Violent execution. So
I would agree. I think that we try to practice what we preach. What we're teaching other organizations to improve upon is less of the old school command and control hierarchy, more networks and ecosystems of truly empowered team members, but to have empowerment and have it be authentic You have to have high levels of accountability. You have to really make employee engagement a managerial priority. Therefore, getting meaningful work, considering your talent acquisition programs and who we bring into the organization that also share those values already, but then integrating them into all of our own mission planning, enlisting a lot of good transparent feedback. One of the things that I've learned as a great way to improve as a leader is not self-assessment, but enlisting feedback or anonymous feedback from your team. It can be humbling, but it's the best way to apply lessons learned to improve. But I think we are inclusive. We try to really go by a sort of a servant leadership style. We're all here to work hard together and lead not from the top down, but from the bottom up.
Yeah, we want everyone to have a voice, everyone to feel comfortable sharing their opinions. And like Brent said,
not all the time. Get it? Sure.
Servant leadership, but that's how I describe our leadership styles.
I personally think we've been very successful working together. We've been, not to get too real, but we've been more or less attached to the hip since the day we met at a wedding in Costa Rica, and I think we work well together. We complement each other's skill sets very well. We communicate effectively. What would you say?
I think it's, with anything in life, I think it's important to be aligned in the vision. And I think Brent and I have always been very aligned in the vision, just not for work, for our careers, for the company, but also for our family and our morals, our core values, morals.
Yeah.
So when we plan our goals and when we plan for Taking Point Leadership, not only are we planning for that, but we're also planning for our family's goals, our family's dynamics, what we want. And so it's very important that we are completely aligned in all our goals, dreams, desires, all of that. So I think we work very well together. Sometimes, even yesterday, I was like, "Hun, we see each other at the office all day, and then we come home. I'm like, are you still excited to see me?" And of course, he had a great, very witty, sweet response. Yeah, it was good. It was positive.
Nothing. There's not a single difficult thing about working together. Yeah. I mean, again, we're human, and we both have different approaches to a shared vision, per se. We might totally agree on the end goal and where we're headed. I think we almost always do.
Yeah.
But our tactics might be a little bit different as far as to how to get to the end game, how to fulfill that vision. So.
Yeah, even with parenting as well, the how. We agree our children are in trouble and they should,
She thinks I'm too tough on the kids, and
quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. But we'll have scenarios where literally it's 3 a.m. I can't sleep and I want to talk about work, and Brent's so we definitely talk about work often and always. But I think that's great for us. We tend to come in the office on weekends. We bring the kids. We try and make it fun and exciting.
But it's a healthy balance.
Yeah.
When we go on date night, we'll talk about work some, but we enjoy it so much, just like we hope that everybody in our company and organization does, that it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
We're passionate about it. We're excited to talk about it. And it's part of, again, of our collective goals and visions. One of the things that we're obviously in the process of from a strategy and brand standpoint is we're growing as an organization. We're hiring more people. We've got larger clients. So this organization started as me out there on stage doing keynote presentations, which is great. It's been great for brand development and thought leadership. But as we continue to grow the organization, I'm shifting more towards growing the consulting side of the business. So leadership development, management essentials, organizational design and development, we have pretty large clients. So sometimes we work with them in a holistic capacity, sometimes in a small. So really building that side of the business while doing some selective speaking as well from a brand development, again, thought leadership standpoint, and sort of a sales element to what we do. That's where I'm kind of taking my role. And I'm working on, and again, we started off, like Brent said, with doing keynotes. We used to travel before children. We would travel around the world together, doing keynotes in Singapore and she was always interested to go to London, Hong Kong, New York, Singapore. Then I'm going to Kentucky for a coal mining thing. She didn't want to go.
Yeah, I'll stay home. I'll work from home that week.
It's a good choice.
But again, like we talked about, we have 2 young kids in preschool, and Parker Rose will be starting kindergarten next year. So that will free up time, and I plan on playing a larger role within Taking Point Leadership. We have some new exciting initiatives for the next year.
When someone thinks of Taking Point Leadership, we want them to really think of us as a strategic partner, not a consulting firm that they hire to come in and improve the organization or transform structure and culture, but think of us as an actual partner embedded with our clients, working alongside them with shared and common goals. Going back to what I said before, also thinking of our differentiating factors as far as backgrounds and special operations, having actually applied these in our own organizations. Therefore, we're not pushing solutions and strategies and frameworks that we haven't actually tested ourselves in our own organizations. So those are kind of some of the value propositions that I would like our clients or prospective clients or just people in the community to think of when they think of Taking Point Leadership.
Yeah, I think also progressive. I want people to see that we're at the cutting edge of what we do. We also are philanthropists. We give back. We're all about, we know we're grateful for what we have, and giving back is very important to us. So, we want to be a well-rounded company. Yes, we want to, grow and hit our goals, but we also find it's very important to give back to our community, to causes that are important to us.
Organizational proceeds support the Seal Family Foundation, an organization that I'm on the executive board of. One of the main things that I've learned as a takeaway from having owned multiple businesses actually goes into the framework of what we offer our client partners. And it goes back to the foundational elements of what makes a high-performing organization great. The values, the culture, the people, the levels of engagement and passion that people have within an organization. Because oftentimes, and in the past I've done this, you go out or you raise money for a business or a startup and it's go, 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 sell, 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 grow as fast as you can, and you forget all these foundational pieces that are so critically important to getting over those inevitable growth barriers. And therefore, then you're not making decisions based on shared values. You're not really building a great culture that's going to retain employees and really engage your prospective customers. So that's really the biggest takeaway when people ask me, well, what's the one main thing you learned as an entrepreneur, or maybe a mistake you made in the past, was skipping past those foundational pieces. And now that's actually what we do with our client partners, is to make sure that they have the culture, their people practices, their leadership behavioral norms dialed in to achieve specific results.
Well, and let's also be real here. Entrepreneurship is a scary thing.
Yeah.
It's scary to go out and start your own company and figure out how you're gonna, pay the bills, and things aren't guaranteed. And I think a lot of times people glamorize entrepreneurship like it's this sexy thing that just happens, but it's scary. It's scary to start off. I'll never forget the day we had the conversation to go out and start Taking Point Leadership. It was definitely, it's a risk. It's daunting, it's a risk, it's a lot of hard work. But like to Brent's point, I think the core values are huge and important. And with that being said, at least for us, I think a lot of what we do here at Taking Point Leadership also translates into our family life, where it's defining our core goals, not only for Taking Point Leadership, but also for the Gleeson family. And, having your defined core goals, your purpose, your mission. We do a mission statement for our family, you know what I mean? And kind of taking all of that, what we do here, and applying it to our family. But yeah, entrepreneurship, it's scary, it's daunting, nothing's guaranteed.
But it's yours.
But it's yours, yeah, it's yours. And
it's your stress and anxiety that you get to own 100%.
Exactly, yeah, 100%. My big thing was when I worked for Miller Coors Corporate America, it was like the paid time off, PTO. I hated having to ask somebody, can I please go on vacation? And so that's a benefit, of course. But again, it's exciting. Entrepreneurship's exciting. It's scary. But looking back and seeing how far we've come is, it's really satisfying. And I'm excited to see where we go.